Hi, this is DeBorah B. Pryor with Lee Bailey's EUR Web. I'm at the premiere of Walking While Black, Love is the Answer at the Broad Stage in Santa Monica. When we say love is the answer, it's important to know that love has many different meanings. In this case, love means learn. Learn about your community and the people within it. O means open your heart to the humanity in the community. V means volunteer your service in your community. And E, I love E, empower others in your community to do the same. We'll be talking to the filmmakers, A.J. Ali.
When he put his nose up in front of my nose and was ready to chest bump me while he was yelling at me, if I had touched him, if I had leaned in, then I probably would have been in the hospital or in handcuffs or both.
And Errol Weber.
His story resonated with me, so of course I had to jump on board and do a film about this. I'm a documentary filmmaker, he's a documentary filmmaker. He has a story idea that is important to him, and it's important to me as well, and I'm sure it's important to a lot of other people.
We'll be talking to a woman who has been with the LAPD for 25 years.
Like I said, I'm a mother, I have 4 sons, and if I were to lose any of my children, any one of my children, a simple "I'm sorry," the officer wasn't well trained, or better yet, we're not sorry, we didn't see it the way you saw it, is just not sufficient.
4.5 years ago, I was racially profiled for walking down a street in Howard County, Maryland, where this young police officer didn't think I belonged. He said, "We're stopping everyone who looks like they're not from this neighborhood." And it went south from there. I thank God every day that I walked out of that situation alive and in one piece, because had it not been for me having my attorney on the phone when he came back with 2 of his buddies after letting me go the first time, if I hadn't had him on the phone, I think it would have turned south, because the first thing I said was, my attorney's on speakerphone and he hears everything. And I got a pass, because although they kept me on the side of the road for 45 minutes, I got out of there unharmed. And far too often...
And do you think it's for that reason, because you said your attorney was on the phone? Because I've heard that before.
100%. And I went away from that experience thinking, what about all the thousands of men or tens of thousands of men and women every year who don't get the opportunity to just walk away? Freddie Gray and Sandra Bland and all the others that have lost their lives, we did this for them, but we also did it for everyone who, they don't have a voice, we're their voice now. And so when people see this film and they participate in the workshops that we're developing and they read the book that we're coming out with May 1st, hopefully they'll become part of a community of people that can rise up and fight this thing, not with fists or with bricks, but with the might of love, because love is the most powerful thing in the universe.
About 10 years ago, it would have been more difficult to find these instances. One person said that these instances of racial profiling and excessive force by cops, it isn't necessarily increasing in the amount that is happening, but it's being recorded now. And the more people that are recording it, the more it goes online. So it may seem that there are more instances of racial profiling happening, and there very well could be. It's a very tense social and political climate right now, and there's a lot of bigotry on both sides. In many cases, people will be only willing to listen to an opinion that they resonate with, and so they surround themselves with groups of people that only think the same way they do, creating an echo chamber. And this echo chamber is just a fire fueling another fire, fueling another fire. And that fire of only listening to your own opinion, not regarding anybody else's opinion, is very detrimental to communities, because we need to be able to have conversations with people and hear another person's opinion and work out your differences.
Can you tell us why it was so important for you to be a part of this film, and why this film is so important now?
Well, I think this film is so important because, what we see occurring on a national level really, it hasn't abated, right? And it seems to be getting worse. And so I'm so happy to be a part of it because what I do is I corroborate and validate those things that we all know to be true based on my lived experiences, having spent 20 years on a major metropolitan police department. And so when we talk about officers who manufacture probable cause and reasonable suspicion to engage you and then create a situation to escalate to a deadly force incident, I can speak to that because I know that this occurs. And so what I want to do is just speak to it in a real honest way because you can't fix what isn't broken. And so we know that there's a problem. I think police departments need an intervention. And I think this movie will facilitate that.
You can see why this film is so important, and hopefully, because they have workshops coming out, they're going to have screenings all over the country. Hopefully, we can learn something from this. For those of you who are thinking, oh, I don't want to see another negative, whatever, you have to look, open your eyes, open your heart, and let's just recognize where we are and what we can do about it, okay? All right, see you later.